There's plenty of horror movies that start slowly and methodically, letting viewers settle into a rhythm before the terror really comes. These are not those movies. Here are the scariest opening scenes in horror movies. Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. Other Friday the 13th sequels leaned hard into funhouse territory, relying just as much on morbid humor as gory shocks. But not in the case of Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. Corey Feldman reprises his role as a young Tommy Jarvis in the dream sequence that opens the film. On a dark, stormy night, Tommy finds himself observing Jason's grave as two would-be grave robbers are digging it up. It doesn't go well, and Feldman's reactions as he witnesses Jason rising once again to butcher the hapless crooks sell Tommy's sheer panic and terror perfectly. The brilliant opening is arguably the best of the series. Twilight Zone, the movie. 1983's Twilight Zone film was largely short of true scares, but its brief pre-credits opening sequence has added a phrase to the pop culture lexicon that still has the power to make our skin crawl.
Hey, you want to see something really scary?
You bet.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, this is really, really scary now.
Comedians Dan Aykroyd and Albert Brooks put the audience at ease as motorists on a lonely road at night. But when Brooks tries to rattle Aykroyd by turning off his headlights, Aykroyd ups the ante by insisting that Brooks pull over so that he can show him something scarier. And boy, does he ever.
What are you doing?
Scream. Wes Craven's 1996 deconstruction of the horror genre, Scream, started a trend of self-awareness in fright flicks that continues to this day. But it's easy to forget what a virtuoso piece of filmmaking its opening sequence is. Drew Barrymore appears as a young woman named Casey, who receives what she thinks is a prank phone call.
Hello?
Why don't you want to talk to me?
Who is this?
You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
As the guy quizzes her about horror movies, the tone of the call goes from playful to sinister to outright terrifying as Casey slowly realizes this is no joke.
You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
What did you say?
The scene is an absolute masterclass in playing on audience expectations and building tension. Scream's influence has towered over horror for the last couple of decades, but it may not have lingered quite as long in the popular imagination without this opening. Jaws. Virtually everything that could have gone wrong with Jaws did, up to and including the mechanical sharks not working up to expectations. But the technical problems ended up enhancing the film in ways nobody could have foreseen, as Steven Spielberg wisely chose to keep his toothy menace off-screen whenever possible. The opening scene shows just how effective this technique is as a young swimmer named Chrissy goes in for the last moonlit skinny dip she'll ever take. For the actual attack, Spielberg and his crew employed an underwater system of ropes to jerk the actress back and forth, and all we can see are her terrified reactions, which she completely sells. Jaws is a film that set the template for the summer tentpole picture and has been ripped off more times than can be counted, but its opening retains all of its power over 4 decades later. Drag Me to Hell. Sam Raimi made his triumphant return to gonzo horror with 2009's Drag Me to Hell, the story of a loan officer named Christine who runs afoul of a curse. Unless she can find a way to stop it, Christine will be tormented by a demon for 3 days before getting dragged to hell. The opening scene makes it clear that it's definitely not just in Christine's head either. A young boy is brought to a medium because he's been hearing voices after he stole a necklace from an old woman.
Lleva 3 días que escucha voces.
Cree que algo viene por él. Cuente.
Oiga la voz.
All of the old Evil Dead-esque Raimi calling cards make their return. The off-kilter angles, the eye-popping close-ups, the crazily kinetic camera work. But the scene also establishes that the demon has no mercy, as the boy's frantic cries for help don't stop his fate.